Alright, we are back on Hero Colosseum, and what could honestly be the very last video that we see of Hero Colosseum on this channel. Honestly, I'm just being honest with you guys. There's a few reasons, but the main reason is because Dragon Ball Heroes is right around the corner. And honestly, my hype for that game is it's crazy. I'm freaking hype. I've been waiting years to play that game. There's a lot more to do in Heroes than there is to do in Hero Colosseum. A lot more. So I figure there's so much more I could do with that game on this channel than what I could do with Hero Colosseum. But that being said, the first thing I want to say about Hero Colosseum that makes it amazing is that, well, first of all, let me just say, let's review the game real quick. This is a review that we're going to do because I've put a lot of time into this game at first. Now I haven't put that much time into the game, but I have put quite a bit of time into the game in the beginning. So I figured let's go ahead and just review it, and I want to see how you guys feel about it, and then I'm gonna let you guys know how I feel about it. Actually, I'm gonna let you know how I feel about it, and then I want to see how you guys feel about it in the comment section if you guys would like to share your thoughts on how this game is, or was if you don't play it anymore. So the first thing I would like to bring up is no matter how bad you think the game is, no matter how bad, you have to keep in mind it's a free game. Not only it's technically free, it's technically not free because you have to buy Xenoverse to play it, but when you buy Xenoverse, you buy it for Xenoverse. You don't buy it for Hero Colosseum. So, in my personal opinion, the game is free. In my opinion, it's 100% free. Also, it's a mini-game. This is not a full-blown game. Dragon Ball Heroes, like I said, has way more to do in it, but it's a full-blown game that you have to pay for. This is a mini-game. It's a mini-game that's free. So that's the very first thing I want to bring up, is that it's free. And that's freaking amazing. This is an amazing game to be something that's free. They didn't have to give it to us, but they did. And that's something that's just amazing. Another good thing about it, and I am going to start talking crap about it too. I'm going to talk mad crap about this game. But keep in mind, when I do say all the bad stuff about it, I love this game to death. I freaking love this game. But another good thing about this game is, to be a free mini-game, there's actually quite a bit of I'm not going to say there's content to it, I'm not going to say there's a lot of depth into it, but there's quite a bit that you can do as far as building your teams in this game. There's a pretty good number of figures that have quite a few different unique abilities, so there's a lot you can do. You can make a team that's based on pure speed and attack, and your mission is to try to attack first and hit your opponent as hard as possible and knock them out before they knock you out. Or you can make a team that doesn't care about speed at all. They're pure defense and attack, and that's the kind of team I like to make, where you're going second no matter what, so you don't have to worry about that speed part, and you just tank the attack and you try to hit them back twice as hard. There's that kind of stuff you can do. Or you can make a team that's based on buffing themselves or debuffing your opponents as much as possible. Then in the end game, you try to take them out because they're weakened or because your team is buffed up so much. There's a lot you can do. You can actually make a team with just solo figures. I don't know how far that's going to get you when you're playing against the really good players, but it is something else you can do. You can make a team of just really badass people who go out there by themselves. You can do that. Or you can make a team who's based on just building up the ult gauge and ulting the crap out of your opponents. There's so much you can do as far as team building. There's a lot you can do. Then there's a whole bunch of items. There's quite a few items now. They've been adding them as the seasons have gone on, and there's quite a few items now. So if you add that into the mix, there's so many different ways you can build your teams in this, and that's something I really like. When you have a game and there's so many different possibilities like that, I love that kind of stuff. And this game has it, and it's a free mini game, and it has it. But also, that being said, one of the bad things is most of the figures are pretty much useless. Most of the items are pretty much useless. This is true for pretty much every game that's like this. There's always going to be the ones that are just completely useless. There's going to be the ones that aren't useless, but they're super weak, but with the right setup they could work. The thing is, I feel like it's really bad in this game. There's some really good N's and R's, like Tapion and Lord Slug. There's some really good ones who you're never going to see them get used, or at least rarely, very rarely you'll see them get used because they have no item slots and they have really low stats. There should have been a way to buff them up at least enough to where they'd be more useful. You know what I mean? The items are especially like 80 to 90% of the items are useless, especially when they introduce the A skills. The A skills are so good. They're so good. They made the R, the C, The turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skills, those were kind of useless to begin with, honestly, in my personal opinion, because like the only ones that were bigger buffs than the A skills were the turn 5 skills, and you gotta wait 5 turns for those to even activate, and by that time the match is almost already over. So, so the A skills kind of made everything obsolete. The only thing better than the A skills in terms of buffs is the second skills, but they are supposed to be the best anyways because they come with a risk. You have to get attacked first. You have to go second to use those. So the best skills in the game are the second skills and the A skills. Then of course you have the 0-1 skills. So those are really the only good skills in the game. Then you have the ult down skills, mainly ult down, ET, mainly that one. That one's actually pretty darn good. So other than those though, almost everything else is pretty much obsolete. You'll probably see other stuff get used, like Master's HP down. Those give pretty good buffs once your Master's HP goes under 50%. You'll probably see those get used. I know you used to see them get used quite a bit. I don't know about now that we have the A skills. Those things pretty much made almost everything obsolete. Most of the skills are honestly useless. So the last thing I'm going to bring up, because this match is about to come to a close, I think there's not much else I could talk about. The last thing I want to bring up is the amount of content for this game. There's not a whole lot. Maybe when you first jump on it, well, I mean, back when it first came out, there wasn't a whole lot to begin with. But maybe like a brand new player, if they were to jump on it, they may feel like there is a lot to do on this. But when you really look at it, there's nothing to do on this. All you have is you have the story mode, which is really short. You have the free battles, which it might look pretty long at first, but no, I would say it's fairly long. I mean, like I said again, it's a free mini game, so it's a pretty fair amount. But once you beat the story mode, you beat the free battles, then you beat all the city battles. The only thing you have left to look forward to is the online battles, and that's it. There's nothing else to do in this game except grind yourself to level 99 and grind Bulma to level 10. Once you get those done, you have literally nothing else to look forward to. And the thing is, you don't get anything for beating anything. When you beat the story mode, at first, I guess, no, actually, nothing. There's nothing you get that's really worth grinding this game for. You have, and by the way, that's the other thing I wanted to bring up. You have to hella grind to get your figures to level 99. You have to grind the crap out of this game. They should have honestly made it, hey, look at this, we got the whole Ginyu Force. They should have honestly made it a lot easier. At least like when you hit level 99 or when you get Bulma to level 10, they should have gave you some kind of an item that you can add to one of your figures and it would double the amount of XP you get or something. Because grinding for experience is, oh my god, it sucks. Then grinding to get the figure you want, it sucks. They don't even have events to raise the rates for certain figures at certain times. That way you can save up for when the figure you want has rates up on it. Like every gacha game. This is a gacha game, but every other gacha game, they have events to help you get what you want. This one doesn't have that, and it kind of sucks because everything has an equal chance of popping up. Like every UR has an equal chance. Like it's a low chance to get a UR to begin with. Then when you do finally get the chance to get a UR, every single UR has a chance of popping up. So there's a really good chance you're not going to get what you want. So, what would I rate this game out of 10? Even though I have a lot of gripes that I just went through, keep in mind, like I said a million times, it's a free mini game. So you can't expect too much out of it to begin with. So because of that, I'm going to ding it for not having all that much content, and the content it does have, it doesn't reward you at all. Every single free battle I've ever done, I've never felt rewarded for beating it. I don't really feel rewarded for beating any of the free battles. I didn't really feel rewarded for beating the story mode. I don't feel rewarded at all for anything. The only thing that felt rewarding was maxing out Bulma, because she gave you a lot of T-chips. I think at level 9 and 10, and maybe 8. All those, I think she gave you T-chips. So that's the only thing that actually felt rewarding in this game. So the other thing I'm going to ding it for is the fact that quite a few of the items and a pretty fair amount of the figures are just completely useless. Even though they seem like something that should be so amazing, they're practically useless. I shouldn't ding it for that because honestly every single game like this is like that. There's always going to be those figures or units or cards or whatever game you're playing. There's always going to be those ones that you just never see getting used because they're just not good. Every single game is like that. So I shouldn't really ding it for that, but I'm going to. Honestly, it's not the figures, it's mostly the items. They gave us so many new items, and the only ones they gave us out of all the new stuff that was actually worth using was the A skills. Everything else, they suck. Like, it almost feels like they never should have made them to begin with, because they just suck. So the third thing I'm gonna ding it for is the grind. It is way too grindy, which they should have just made it at some point when you reach a certain level, or at some point in the game they should have gave us something that made it way easier to grind the experience in this game, because that grind really sucks. And then on top of that, you have to grind TP medals. The TP medals I don't really mind, because that's part of their money. You can buy TP medals, so I don't mind that. But the experience, that they should have did something about that. Also, I completely forgot to bring this up. We're not going to really talk about it because we're way out of time. But the RNG in this game. Oh my goodness! The RNG with the Spirit Bomb. The RNG with the additional attacks. Some of the character skills. There's so much RNG in this game. I guess every game is like that too. But oh my god, in this game, for some reason, it's extra rage-inducing at certain times. That's another thing I gotta ding it for. And even though I'm talking about dinging it like here, there, and everywhere, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I think that's pretty fair. Honestly, I would give it 8 out of 10 because I love this game that much. But to be a little more realistic, me personally, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. So what do you guys think? What would you give it and why? In the comments, please let me know. How would you rate it out of 10? And why? What do you like about it? What do you dislike about it? If you still play it, if you used to play it, whichever. If you used to play it, did you stop playing it because you just figured that you didn't like it? You figured that in the end it actually did suck, or maybe you do like it but it just got old. Whichever reason, please let me know. I'm actually really curious. So, that's the end of this video. Please like it if you like it, and you should subscribe if you want more. And join me in the next one. Alright, y'all. I'm out.